tonight we've got one of our historical figure tribute nights. I suppose youth theatre is where it all started for me. I really enjoy playing real people. I enjoy honouring that person. Because I said to you about Joan of Arc, it was the best experience I've had. It was just such a loss of ego. It just felt like it could flow. So I started thinking, right, I'm going to do a solo show about Mary Queen of Scots. You know, she's one of the most famous Scottish women in history, but unless you're really into history, then no one really knows. You just think of her, she's the redhead. Oh, she looked really miserable. Oh, she's really pale. Oh, she's really tall. And Elizabeth and Mary hated each other and she got her head chopped off. So it's the first time I've done a solo show and it's the first time I've ever tried to write something. So I'm completely mental. The Fringe Festival, so it started because there was the International Festival, but it was quite only, certain people who were invited to be part of it. But the Fringe started as a spin-off from that, so that anyone, if they wanted to put on a show, could put on a show.
The show is part of the Free Fringe, and actually, so far, I've loved it. You pay a bit to use the venue still, but essentially, the costs are far lower. And also for the audience, they get in for free.
I think if you are going to experiment with something, it's a good place to do it. Because the number of shows I've seen that have been just bizarre, this, strangest things you could think of. A guy dressed as a frog doing terrible magic tricks, anything. And it's the biggest arts festival in the world and it's the best place to be in August. So I'm performing from the 3rd of August to the 26th of August. So we've got 2.5 months. By the end of May, I need to have some kind of draft. Hi guys.
Latte, please.
Sure.
Skim lattes.
Yeah, sure. We've only got semi-skim cookies.
That's all right. That's
yeah. What's your dog's name?
Alfie.
Alfie.
Alfie, that's a good name. Do you want a coffee?
I think it's maybe the cake he's wanting. Thanks very much, Matt.
Thank you very much. Cheers, have a nice day. Enjoy your walk.
See you, bye-bye.
Bye.
See you, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So I've already been caught, working on the play this morning rather than, serving. I'm going to just keep writing and write various versions so that Phil's got something that we can actually work on. It's really soon. That'll go like that. I've written a few different versions. So originally the plan was when she returned from France to Scotland for the first time, because that's a natural dramatic point.
When Mary came back, she came back following the death of her French husband, the French king. She had been Queen of Scotland since she was a few days old. But what had happened in the interim, the previous year in 1560, is really a revolution. And the Protestant Reformation in Scotland, there had been this basically a revolution against Mary's mother's authority and thus Mary's authority. But her mother died in July 1560 after this revolution had taken place. Anyway, she comes back in August 1561, gets off the boat, it's foggy, it's a really inauspicious start to her personal reign, that's what we call it, her personal reign in Scotland. And she's met. It's all a bit disorganised and higgledy-piggledy.
That didn't work out.
Yes.
Queen.
Hi, nice to see you. How are you?
Okay, you look lovely.
Well, I've been at a party, so I'm not
Gorgeous.
like this.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, I don't really know where to start. I remember that meeting with you, and it made me realise. I think I'd underestimated how huge like the undertaking was, and I remember.
And in a really short space of time
Yes.
as well.
Sarah contacted me, I think, back in sort of January, February, and said, "Hey Phil, I'm doing a play about Mary Queen of Scots. Will you direct it?" And I said, "Sure." And then the plan was she would send me a script sort of in March time. And then March came and the script kind of wasn't there. And then we got to April and the script kind of wasn't there. And then I sort of thought, it's not going to happen.
And I was like, we don't have a show. And Phil was like, yeah, we don't have a show. And we thought, we're going to have to pull it. And it seemed a shame because I'd tried so hard and put so much work into it. Trying different ways of tearing it apart and devising how to do it. And I left Phil and I was a bit like, oh, what am I going to do? I went and sat in a pub and charged my phone. I was like, all right, okay, what can we do? Start again. And then I just watched The Landlady and I thought, could I sit in a pub modern day? I just started writing around that idea.
We stopped it being so much about Mary sort of straight on, and it became more about Sarah's kind of quest to explore this character. And then we've kind of ended up with the show we have now. I suppose without giving too much away, it's more about people's ambitions and their kind of disappointments.
So yeah, my friend Leisha, she noticed that some of the parallels between Marie, the character's life, and obviously my life, like trying to act and wanting to act and finding different ways, sometimes successfully, sometimes not, of trying to reach that goal. I'm getting organised, trying not to trip when she tells me she's glad we've finally got to meet face to face, especially since we're cousins. And I think that's a funny thing to say.
Yeah.
Completely different to what you expect.
Completely different.
I suppose experiences, they're not my experience as an actress, but that kind of struggle and wanting to get somewhere and not necessarily getting where you want to go, I think a lot of people can identify with. So I'm performing at Hanover Tap. There's a pub on Hanover Street and they've got a room underneath, and I went in and had a little look at the room and I like it. It's a bit odd.
It's wide and it is deep. But I think it's kind of how we... Actually, it's bigger than I thought from the photo. If it goes further back, you could maybe don't talk to someone in the front row, you talk to someone who's on the 5th or the 6th row. Oh yeah, we got all sorts of here.
That's great. Love it. I'm so happy we're here. And I love the exposed brickwork.
Yeah, the brickwork is cool. In fact, if we came at like 11, we could get in the building then, do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. Well, should we aim for that then? Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. I'd say like a month ago, we didn't really have a play, and I thought it's not going to happen. We didn't have a script, at least. And then we had kind of a quite intense sort of 5 or 6 days where we've sort of thrown it together. That's the wrong phrase, but I mean, since we have sort of thrown it together. And tomorrow we'll sort of see what sticks. Yeah, that's better. You placed that better.
Okay.
All I know is you've got a head chopped off.
Head chopped off.
Head chopped off.
Yeah.
Getting there. Good morning.
It's going to be a salad show.
Okay,
Go.
1, 2, 3.
I got like at first you are just like, I must get my show up, and then you can relax and be like, I'll go and see everyone else and enjoy myself.
Yeah,
We're on that at the moment.
We ran a few scenes this morning. I think it's looking quite, like it fits the space quite well. I can sort of hear Sarah from the back. The eye lines are all okay. But yeah, we'll find out in sort of 15 minutes how it goes.
Very beautiful.
There's no red carpets happening.
So tonight, we've got one of our historical figure tribute nights. There's part of your brain that goes, oh, how are people going to react to it? What are people going to think? Are they going to think I'm rubbish? Are they going to think I'm good? Day one in London and I've failed already. I'm an actor, she says as she slurps a pint. And I've decided that 2017 is my year to make it happen. I suppose Marie, as an actress arriving in London, she could feel the empathy with Mary, Queen of Scots, but arriving in Leith. And I know it's just a daft thing at a pub, but it felt good to be in front of an audience again. And I felt like I really connected with her tonight, the character, Mary. I understood how she felt when she stepped off that boat, a young woman starting out in a new city, self-determining and strong. So I kind of tried to turn the tables a bit at the end. I tried to make Marie think that Liz was plotting against her, so like turned at the end. I realise she's doing a method thing. She's in character. She calls me Queen Elizabeth. Just about to stand when she grabs my head and forces it on the bar. Well, this is a bit much. Can we stop, Marie, please? There is a line about having to change history. At the end, Marie says, history must change. History must shift. I must rewrite the story. You could probably analyse this play in like a million different ways. If it was a metaphor, it'd be about writing your own story. I mean, that's what it'd be about. My greatest performance.